see everybody be able to ride the whole city and connect up either way through using their bikes. That would be a great dedication, wouldn't you think? So today, I know that all of our supervisors, while this was not a noticed meeting, it was a very noticed meeting. The supervisors writing in, and the department heads that have been here with Public Works and Rec and Park and MTA and others, their commissioners were riding with us together, and we had a great conversation with different parts of the roadway that we had, from the very soft area of Golden Gate Park to the pathways in the Panhandle, and then we really hit into traffic. And that's a really challenging part on Fell and Oak Street, which I intend to work with our supervisors and Supervisor Mercarimi to make sure that we really try to experiment with the ways we can have dedicated bike lanes on Fell and Oak. That would be wonderful to have, wouldn't it? And really to calm that traffic down, calm it down, and make sure that we have safe pathways. And then we went to the wiggle. That's a fun part. And I know Andy Ball riding with me wanted to go directly on the hills, so we pulled him back. We pulled back his ride, but I know he's in shape. So Andy, he's going to speak in a minute, but there are a lot of people in shape, and then there's people like me. So we need that wiggle. And then riding down Market Street, it was really dedicated bike lanes. I am definitely in favor of expanding it all the way from Octavia all the way to the Ferry Building. We should have dedicated bike lanes there. Yeah, those bike boxes, the green sharrows, the safe poles that we have. Then we're experimenting with safe turn lanes so that we can dedicate more kind of sequential use of that street. And then there's an economic part of it. I mean, as you know, we've worked very hard with the supervisors and to make sure that we have a mid-market change. Well, all of those employees I know, you're going to see more than 25% of them riding to work. There's probably going to be 50 to 60% of the workers that we encourage to locate and be on mid-market. They'll be riding to work a lot. So I think we need to expand those lanes to make sure we welcome it. With that, I know that the supervisors, each of them will have a minute to say here, but before they do, I wanted to welcome also our business partners, people who are encouraging their employees to ride to work. And Andy, come on up here, but we also have Jeff from Wells Fargo. Jeff, you're still with us, right? Come on up here, Jeff. And we have Joe D'Alessandro from our SF Travel. We have Peter from Green Apple Books. Where's Peter? Okay, Peter, come on up. Come on up here. Because these are the also the employers working with the city, working with our supervisors, all of them, to make sure that they do their best and join in our efforts. So it's always been, I mean, even when we do these bike rides, it's been public-private partnerships that actually keep and maintain this. And I want to be here with everybody to announce that we've already been working on how we can fund more of these green lanes. And so with the JFK route that we rode this morning, Rec and Park and MTA have been working with our Transportation Authority through the Board of Supervisors, and they found a grant that will allow them to immediately plan for the JFK route to be implemented. And by the end of this year, MTA and Rec and Park will have a dedicated green bike lane in the JFK Drive by the end of this year. So that's a really great announcement, and we will have more of this. That's just the first, and I think a number of announcements that we will try to make and continue to find funding for, and to keep the public-private partnerships going. So with that, I want to bring up Andy. Before you speak, maybe Peter and Tom and Joe, if you want to say a few words, because I know Andy's going to speak about his great biking experience, his racing skills, and all the things that he does. But please, would you like to say? Come on up, Tom.
Very briefly, Green Apple Books recently got, thanks to the Bike Coalition in the city, a bike corral right in front of the street, right in front of the store. They removed a car parking spot, which on Clement Street is a pretty big, aggressive thing to do. On the other hand, the loss of one car gave us lockable biking for 10 bikes. And that rack has been full pretty much every day, all day. So I appreciate the support of the Bike Coalition in the city in making that happen. And I have to point out that it was done with almost no red tape. I filled out an application, I got a phone call, they put it in. So kudos.
You know, Jeff, Wells Fargo has been a wonderful partner with the city. I was with them last week. They had all these volunteers out helping us repair homes in Outer Mission and in Excelsior for seniors. So it's a wonderful cooperation that we have with Wells Fargo. And Jeff, how was the ride coming in today?
Well, what a great way to start the morning. I wish I could start every morning like this. In behalf of Wells Fargo, we have more than 9,000 team members that work here in San Francisco. And so coming from Marin County to the East Bay, from the South Bay, and so we are actively working with them and helping reduce greenhouse emissions, and one of that is by the commute. And so we are actively encouraging bike riding to work, and almost every one of our administrative offices has bike racks outside of it to help support them to our team members. So thank you, and thank you, Mayor.
All right. Joe, Travel SF.
Thank you.
All of our tourists and visitors, they're actually noticing this whole bike experience that we have and the whole network that we have. What do you say for our tourists?
Well, you know, travel and tourism is San Francisco's #1 industry. 18 million people a year come here. More than a third of those are from international countries that are used to riding their bicycles. So the more we can make cycling accessible, the more we can make the city accessible for cyclists, the more people can get out and either walk the city or ride the city. It's the best way to see our neighborhoods. It's the best way to see the wonderful things that San Francisco has to offer. So we're working with you to make sure that cycling in San Francisco is accessible to everybody by bike.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. And the next speaker, you know, he's not only a bicycle enthusiast, he sponsors races, he's got the right uniform, he's in shape, he's challenging everybody, and he's also doing great work with our city, building our general hospital, helping to build our new PUC administrative building. This is Andy Ball from WebCorps. Thank you, WebCorps, for all your support and your collaboration with our city. Come on up, Andy.
Mayor Lee, it was great to ride with you this morning. He's actually quite a great rider, and it was a wonderful way to start the day. Let's hear it for Green Lanes and Sharrows. Yeah! Woo! As Mayor Lee pointed out, we've got our LEED Platinum PUC building that we're building for the city right now, which is wonderful to have a building that is LEED Platinum and reduce those carbon emissions. WebCorps has been building not only buildings, but we've been building a foundation for cycling for the last 11 years by supporting a 350-member WebCorps cycling team, an amateur team. We have a professional team. We sent 5 women to the Beijing Olympics, or 4 women to the Beijing Olympics, and we have national champions. We've been very successful. But now we're advocating for cycling for commuting, cycling for kids to be able to have a safe way to ride to school, for more bicycle lanes, for a better understanding that there needs to be recognition of the cyclist and the vulnerable user on our roads, and that starts with changing the laws to make that recognition, so that we have roads that are now designed to recognize the fact that people actually ride bicycles on them and walk on them. Transit-oriented villages where people can have the ability to walk, to cycle, get transit. That's what we believe the future looks like. San Francisco has embraced that. It's wonderful to see the new bicycle lanes. When we were out today, we felt safe. And we believe at WebCorps that everybody that gets on a bicycle, no matter what walk of life, should be able to ride that bicycle and feel safe while they're doing it on our roads today. So let's hear it for San Francisco. We love them.
Now we have our supervisors, our Board of Supervisors. Now what I want to say to them is, you know, next time we do that mayor question answer, I'd rather do it on a bike, on a green bike lane. That would be a lot more fun. Board President and Eric Mark, come on up. Whoever's ready. Okay. David Chu.
Good morning. Anyone bike to work today? And is anyone a member of the incredible, amazing San Francisco Bike Coalition? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for riding the ride, and thank you for showing the world how we roll. 15 years ago, I started to bike to work for the very first time, and I have to admit, it was a lonely experience. I don't feel alone anymore. Last year, the Board of Supervisors, we set a new goal for the city. By 2020, we want to have 20% of all of our bike trips, all of our trips throughout the city on our bicycles. In order to do this, we need to imagine. We need to imagine a bike network from the bay to the bridge, from the east to the west, from the north to the south. We have to imagine separated bike lanes, finally getting enough bike parking for all of us, finally having bike signals. We have to imagine safe enough conditions for our 8-year-olds and our 80-year-olds to bike. Are we ready to come together for that vision? Thank you for being part of this.
I wanted to thank my two great tour guides, Gene Fraser, who commutes from the inner Richmond all the way to San Mateo, and Tajana Lowe, who commutes from the Richmond District to the Women's Building in the Mission District. We had a great contingent from the Richmond this morning. It was great to see Ed Lee on a bicycle at 7:15 a.m. in the morning in the park as well. I wanted to also say that why do 7 out of 10 San Franciscans get on a bike each year? And we're going to improve that every year. I think it makes us a healthier and stronger and a more vibrant city when we're biking together. The Richmond District has not only great businesses like Pete from Green Apple, which just installed the great bike corral, but we hope to see many more of those all over the city. And I really will be working with the mayor and my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors to ensure that the JFK Drive dedicated bike lane and bike improvements are instituted before the end of the year. They should have been done before, but we're going to make sure that they're done by the end of the year. So thank you so much to everyone for being here today and the Bicycle Coalition for keeping us a biking-friendly city. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. I just want to quickly say thank you to Andy, to Mike, for the entire group that came with me from District 2 down at Pete's on Chestnut Street. Thank you so much for an incredible ride. Give me a call anytime. I'm happy to do it again. And obviously, thank you to the Bicycle Coalition and everyone here. Improving the infrastructure of our bike lanes, whether it be for the America's Cup or for our daily lives here in San Francisco, is so critical to our future. And I just simply look forward to working with everyone here to make that a daily part of our reality here in San Francisco. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I actually rode in today on a tandem bike in the back. So I just have to say thank you very much to Deep. Are you out there somewhere? There you are. I promise I did pedal on the hills. So thank you very much for that, for helping me to see San Francisco in a new way. We were just talking about this. When you go on foot, it's a little bit too much to cover on foot to really experience the city. When you go by car, you miss so much by car. And so I just want to say thank you to Deep and to the Bike Coalition for giving us this opportunity every year to bike in and to really experience the city in a different way, to smell things in a different way, to understand things in a different way, to get our coffee and our bagels in a different way. And so I just want to thank you for that. I love my furry helmet. I don't really love my hat hair, but I hope that one day we'll be able to have a San Francisco, or even I, a very unexperienced biker, will feel comfortable and safe riding in San Francisco. So thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Ross Mercarimi, proud supervisor at District 5, home of the first parklet in front of Remy's Mojo Bicycle on Divisadero, home of the first dedicated bike light after the Bike and Junction on Fell and Masonic, and absolutely the epicenter where bicyclists go from east to west to our city. But I just want to take this opportunity to shore up this one message. It's time we take back Masonic Boulevard. It's time that we actually step up the city's game in making sure that Masonic is safe for bicyclists and pedestrians, and that we all descend on this cause right now before anyone gets hurt. And it's time, like Mayor Lee said, that we institute east to west dedicated bike lanes on Fell and Oak. It's time the cyclists rule on those two main arteries. Thank you.
Good morning. Hi, Sunny. This is my first bike to work day. I have the honor of representing District 6, which includes where we're standing today. It includes Mid-Market, it includes 2nd Street, South of Market, Tenderloin, and Treasure Island. And this is a district that should have the best and safest bike lanes here in San Francisco, and it should have them here soon. I grew up a city girl, so I never learned how to bike growing up. Similar to Carmen, I've been well, actually maybe not similar to you, but I've only been biking twice. And I really want to thank the San Francisco Bike Coalition members that have dedicated their time to teaching me how to ride. And that includes Deep and Dave Snyder, who's not here today, Dan Nguyen-Tan, and Peter Maziak was my Bike Coalition tour guide today. We got to see some of the green bike lanes, the boxes, and we also got to ride in some of the areas where there weren't bike lanes. And I got to feel how unsafe it was to have trucks and cars kind of trying to jostle around you. And I definitely want to work towards getting bike lanes that would make someone like me feel safe to ride to work. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Wiener, I represent District 8, and let's hear it for District 8. And I was really lucky today to be able to actually experience a lot of the real vanguard of making our streets more complete and better for everyone. We started at the Jane Warner Plaza at Castro and Market, which was the first in the Pavement to Parks program. It's a wonderful example of using our streets in a smarter way. From there, we went down the brand new 17th Street bike lanes, which was terrific, and then up the amazing Valencia Street, reminding me once again how important it is to resurface our roads and make them smooth for everyone. And then, of course, the green bike lanes on Market Street and the physical separation, which is so important. So this was my first Bike to Work day, and it's not going to be my last. And I look forward to working with you all to make our city better and safer for everyone. Thanks.
Good morning, buenos dias. My name is David Campos. I represent District 9, which includes the Mission, Bernal Heights, the Portola, where biking is a part of life, daily life for so many of my residents. Mr. Mayor, I was so happy to see you on that bike. You look good. I think that, maybe changing that car for a bike makes sense, But one thing that I would say is we have so much happening around bicycling in San Francisco, and it's very exciting. But we also have some ways to go. I see that the Commissioner Brinkman here. It's frustrating for me when I visit cities like D.C., you visit cities like Barcelona, and you see that they are far ahead of San Francisco. We cannot let that happen. We in San Francisco should be leading the way, not only in this country, but in the world when it comes to making sure that we have the best bicycle network anywhere. So I'm committed to making that happen. And one thing that I would say, and I want to thank the Bicycle Coalition for this, is that for us to get to where we want to be in terms of making biking a part of daily life for every San Franciscan, we need to reach out to every member of this community, to the diverse communities that make up this city. And I want to thank the Bicycle Coalition for really making that effort, for taking the time to reach out to those diverse communities, not only in my district, but throughout the city. I want to thank you for that, because those communities are a part of this effort, and they can benefit from that, and they want to be a part of this movement. So thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you more out there. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I didn't hear you. I thought you guys bike to work. Your blood should be pumping. My name is Malia Cohen. I represent the southernmost part of our wonderful city. I represent the District 10. That's the Bayview, Potrero Hill, Viz Valley. Thank you very much. I have to give the warmest, heartfelt shout out to my contingent from Bayview. We biked all the way from 3rd and Thomas. 3rd and Thomas. Down 3rd Street. And I just want to say, Neil, thank you for being our fearless leader. Thank you so much. And I want to encourage all of you to come out to the Bayview for Sunday Streets. This was only a taste of it. We've got a lot of action. We're going to have a lot of music. It's going to be great fun, good family fun, give you an opportunity to see part of the city that maybe you don't get to see on a daily basis. I promise we will have sun, we will have food, and there will be music. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Good morning. How y'all doing? It's great to see you here today. Great to ride from District 11, which sometimes I call the gateway to Daly City, because we're right on the Daly City border. We had about 5 members of the community ride out from us, all the way from Naples Green, a new parklet that's there that's been put up by DPW with city funds, one of our great city assets out there in District 11. I want to thank the MTA for all the work you're doing in helping to street by street, create the network, street by street. Thank you for your work. Thank you for DPW to help make that happen as well. These are work that people are doing around the city to make happen. It's also work that's very, very challenging because we have to change many minds about biking in San Francisco. I live in a district where biking, where cars are more king than bikes, and we want to change that. And it's the work of the San Francisco Bike Coalition that helps to make that happen. It's how do we organize our communities and make sure we can share the information about how we can reduce greenhouse gas emissions, live more healthy lifestyles. That's what the San Francisco Bike Coalition does, and I'm so happy that you're doing this work to change how we do our commuting and transit in San Francisco. Thank you so much.
Have you ever seen this kind of support at City Hall? I don't think so. I want to thank the mayor, thank all of the supervisors for their tremendous support for connecting the city. I also want to welcome up our two last speakers. First, Assessor Recorder Phil Ting.
Thanks, Leah. Well, I rode in today from the Sunset with Supervisor Chu, and as a big shout out to the Bike Coalition, thank you so much for all your incredible advocacy on the bike lanes, because I took my 4-year-old daughter to school on the way, so I had to peel off. And it's one thing when you ride off by yourself, but it's a whole nother situation when you're taking your young children through the city. And it makes such a huge difference. We were able to go down Kirkham and see the new bike lane. We started seeing the median that was coming in, and what a big difference it makes on that street. So again, just thank you for all that advocacy. It makes a huge difference. Even if you don't see it, those of us who are all different parts of the city feel it every day. So thank you so much.
And finally, none of the improvements we're celebrating today on the ground would be possible, of course, without the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency's leadership and hard work. So I want to thank all of the leadership of the board and the staff of the MTA. Thank you. And I want to welcome up Director Brinkman.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cheryl Brinkman. I'm on the board of the MTA, and I'm so thrilled to be here. This is a great gathering. I love this city, and Bike to Work Day is like Christmas for all of us cyclists, isn't it? It's wonderful. The SFMTA really is at the forefront of providing support for this event. And a lot of the speakers have mentioned the green bike lanes, the improvements going in, on-street bike corrals, parklets, things that just make our city more livable. So I really want to thank the MTA and the staff of the MTA. I see a lot of you out there right now. And just as Leah mentioned, to hear this support from the Board of Supervisors and to know that the Board of Supervisors and the MTA, we're all on the same page. The Sustainable Streets Group, Bond, I see you out there. Thank you so much. You guys are doing such great work, and I'm so proud to be here to support it. The chairman of our board, Tom Nolan, is here. He rode in with Mayor Lee's group. He's used to more adulation than that. And I rode in with Supervisor Wiener's group down from the Castro, which was lovely. I want to quickly mention the fact that we all know there was a 58% increase in bicycling in San Francisco over the last 4 years. That's an impressive number, but it's even more impressive if you put it in context. Could we have handled a 58% increase in Muni riders at rush hour? You'd never get on a bus or train. Could we have handled a 58% increase in car traffic at rush hour? It would be terminal gridlock. No one would be going anywhere. So I think this is a really good lesson to us. We have some really ambitious goals, 20% of bike trips by 2020. We have climate change goals, and we have mode shift goals. We can do it. If we've already increased 58% in 4 years, I know we can do it, and it's going to be fabulous. I just want to mention quickly the other improvements that went in before this event, which are the bike lanes that are going in on Alamany Boulevard, and the hundreds of new bike parking spots all around the city that's going to make it easier for you to lock up your bike when you've traveled somewhere to either work, shop, or play. So events like Bike to Work Day are just proving the importance of biking to help us meet all of our strategies and goals. And I want to thank you all for coming out today. And thank you again to the MTA staff for all of your hard work, and to the Board of Supervisors and the Mayor for all of your support.
Thank you, Director Brinkman, and thank you, President Nolan, for riding with us today. I also want to recognize so many great department leaders and commission leaders that are here today. Phil Ginsberg from the Recreation and Parks Department rode in with the mayor, as well as President Mark Buell of the Rec and Park Commission. We're thrilled to see Director of SF Environment, Melanie Nutter, here today, as well as the Director of the Department of Public Works, Ed Reskin, who bikes every day. Thank you. The Director of the Planning Department, John Rame, thank you so much for joining us. We've got a great team from the MTA, Bonji, Bridget Smith, Tim Papandreou, and your whole Sustainable Streets team. Thank you for being here. I'm sure I've forgotten some folks, but it's getting so popular we can't keep count now. I just want to say thank you, the mayor and supervisors in particular, for recognizing the importance of connecting the city. We know that we share the goals of making our city easier to move around, more accessible, more affordable, more business-friendly, and more family-friendly. These are the goals we have at the San Francisco Bicycle Coalition, and I think I speak with certainty with City Hall's goals as well. Our plan for connecting the city to creating 100 miles of dedicated bikeways so that families, young children like these can ride to school, so that folks of all ages can ride to work, to the parks, to anywhere they want to go in the city, I believe is a goal we share. So I want to thank you today for being part of the vision. When we come back here next year, I expect to see far more people bicycling. Thank you and happy Bike to Work Day. Thank you.
Talk about bikers stopping.